afternoon from Salt River Fields at Talking Stick in Scottsdale, Arizona. The Angels get ready for Game 5 of the Cactus League as they take on the National League West Colorado Rockies. Another sunny day here in the Valley. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota as we have Angels baseball for you here on this Tuesday. And Jose mentioned the Rockies, the opposition. They will be seeing Albert Pujols in the Angels lineup today. He will be playing first base. He will hit in the number 3 hole.
Well, they are filtering little by little, so the regulars are making their way into the Angels lineup as Mike Scioscia knew and has it all mapped out. A new look, Albert Pujols. All he does is drive in runs, 614 career home runs last 3 seasons. He has led the Angels each season in RBI. Well, people want to get on base in front of him, as he says, it's all because of my teammates. For one reason, this guy knows how to drive in runs. And Albert, of course, more than enthused about no rehabbing in the offseason because he wants to play more first base. He lost 12, 15 pounds. He's moving a lot quicker. And, of course, for Albert Pujols, it's about pride, helping his team, and knowing that, of course, in all of this, there's a fit to make sure Shohei Ohtani gets some at-bats as a designated hitter. But nonetheless, Albert told me earlier, regardless of the number you see there, 6 games only last year, he's hoping to play well over 100 games defensively for the Angels here in 2018.
So we'll see the new look Albert Pujols in the Angels lineup and playing some first base. He will be at first base because the designated hitter today for the Angels will be Shohei Ohtani, who made that debut yesterday against the Padres in the DH role, and he had a nice day in his first game this spring as an Angel hitter.
Pretty much mirrored his approach when we saw him on the mound a few days ago. Calm, collected, looking for one spot, and he wanted to just go out there and see a lot of pitches. Very happy, he told us after the game, too, that he was able to see lefties and righties. But Terry, overall, we saw a guy that really has a pretty good idea as to what he wants to do at the plate. We saw him change the approach when he needed to and get aggressive with men in scoring position at second base and drive in a run. He took some very good swings and also told us after the game what the approach was overall before the ball game.
積極的に行きたいなと思って1打席目から行ったんですけど、最初の方はなかなかストライクは来なかった。しっかりボール球を見極めれたというのはすごい良かったかなと思います。
I was trying to be aggressive from the first at bat, but I didn't get too many balls I can drive, so I took a couple walks, but I was able to get that base hit out of the way, so it felt good.
Shohei Ohtani, he will be batting just in front of Albert in the number 2 spot today in the Angels lineup. Well, today we will see Matt Shoemaker make his first start for the Angels. Forearm issues a year ago for the Angels. Really didn't pitch after June. Had the surgery on the forearm in August. And I know he's eager to show what he can do, Jose.
He told me early in the spring, you know what? All that pressure I was feeling because of that nerve pinching in my forearm, it's all gone. It did affect him. And you can see in the first half, second half, some of the pitches not able to go out there and finish him off. And for a Matt Shoemaker that understands the importance that he plays in swallowing up some innings and making sure he keeps that bullpen fresh, well, it's about execution and competition. Using what? Well, the use of the 4, but mainly to me, the 2-seamer in the 89 to 91 range is where he is more effective. That makes that slider better. It can implement the curveball, but also for Matt Shoemaker, also telling me, how about pitching backwards a little bit more? Because, of course, he is very predictable with the splitter, and hitters were sitting on that. Nonetheless, we know that there's a lot of times, Terry, when hitters know it is coming, but when he releases it out in front of them and it tumbles, it's very hard to make contact against.
Yeah, it was this time last spring we were wondering how Shoemaker would be coming back from the brain surgery. A little different issue this spring.
And he is very happy to be talking about not reacting to comebackers, but just getting ready for another season and hopefully a full one and a healthy one.
So Matt Shoemaker goes for the Angels today. John Gray will be pitching for the Rockies. He is probably their number 1 starter, and Colorado was a postseason team a year ago. We'll have the lineups, the start of today's game. It's coming up next right here on Fox Sports West.
Acronyms are fun. LOL.
spectacular afternoon here in Scottsdale, where the Angels visit the Colorado Rockies. So glad you could join us here from Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Jose Mota, Terry Smith with you here on AM 830 and, of course, on Fox Sports West. The Angels get into this part of the valley with a 2-2 record. The Rockies are at 1-3. And for the Angels, let's talk about lineups. So those starting lineups are brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. That's what a hamburger's all about. For Mike Scioscia against old buddy Black here managing the Rockies. Luis Valbuena leads off playing third base. Shohei Ohtani, consecutive days in the batter's box, is the Angels' designated hitter. Albert Pujols makes his spring debut batting third at first base. Rene Rivera, Angels catcher, will bat fourth. Reimer Liriano is in right field batting fifth. Eric Young Jr. is playing center field batting sixth. Nolan Fontana batting seventh at shortstop. Caleb Cowart makes a start today at second base batting eighth. And Jahmai Jones, Jam Jones, youngster, is in left field and batting ninth. Well, the Angels on the mound, Matt Shoemaker. And as the Rockies take the field, led by their pitcher, John Gray. Their lineup for Bud Black is Raimel Tapia is in center field fighting for a spot leading off. DJ LeMahieu, all-around fantastic ball player, is at second base batting second. Nolan Arenado, you talk about fantastic, brilliant. Nolan Arenado coming off an RBI season with 130 plus 37 home runs. The Southern California Orange County product is at third base at that Gold Glove multiple times, batting third. Trevor Story, sensation, power for a shortstop, is batting fourth. Ryan McMahon, one of the youngsters, is batting fifth and as a designated hitter. Mike Tauchman is in left field batting sixth. Jordan Patterson at first base is batting seventh. Sam Hilliard is in right field batting eighth. And Tony Walters is the catcher for the Rockies, who last year got to the wild card game. In fact, it was John Gray on the mound for that game where the D-backs took the victory, moved on. So for the team like the Rockies, it's a matter of just keeping things in balance, as Terry and I talked about. And certainly, Terry, one more thing is, let's see how it all fits with the additions they have made to their bullpen.
Yeah, vastly improved bullpen. Went out and signed some free agents, and Wade Davis is here. They had Jake McGee. They brought him back. They also got Brian Shaw, who is a very dependable setup man in recent years for the Cleveland Indians. And you mentioned the guy that pitched that postseason game for them last year didn't fare very well in it, John Gray, but one of the bright young pitchers in the game. 10-4 record last year, made 20 starts, had some injury issues a year ago. His ERA was 3.67. He'll be making his first start this spring. The Angels have on the red tops and the gray pants, and the Rockies have the purple tops and the white pants. The umpires today, Mark Carlson will be calling balls and strikes. Jeff Nelson, along with Jordan Baker, and minor league umpire Nick Marley will be the umpires on the bases. The dimensions here: 345 down the lines, 410 to dead center. You do have to elevate the ball to straightaway center to get it out. And in the alleys, it goes 390 in both left center and right center field. So we are just about ready to go. Luis Valbuena will lead it off, and immediately we see the Rockies going with the right side infield shift. And here's the first pitch today. That one is right in there for a called strike. We're underway, and the count is 0-1. Valbuena, Ohtani, and Pujols, the first three for the Angels here this afternoon. And here's the next pitch. That's lined into left center field, but right there waiting and making the grab on it is Mike Tauchman, and that will be the game's first out. Valbuena hit it hard, but right at the left fielder. So here is Ohtani. Our game time temperature, it is 67 degrees, bright sunshine, and first pitch back to Southern California today, 12-11. There's one that's on the outside corner. That's a called strike.
I got to see a lot of Shohei Ohtani. He saw a lot of pitches. Very happy yesterday with the results. A couple of walks and a RBI single in 3 plate appearances for Shohei.
Gray ready on the next pitch. That was a fastball a little bit low. John Gray, a guy who has hit triple digits in the past with his fastball. He has a very good slider as well, and he'll throw a changeup. And his next delivery, that's in there at the knees for a called strike.
Shohei very happy about his approach yesterday. He said he was thinking aggressive, but also we saw the calmness, just the ability to lay off certain pitches when not looking in one area.
Here's the next delivery. It's a fastball that misses high. That last pitch, 95 miles per hour. We do have a speed gun today we'll be able to monitor. Here's the 2-strike delivery, and that is right in there. A called third strike, and Ohtani knew it. Got him looking there. That's the second out, and here is Albert getting ready to bat his first at bat this spring.
John Gray gave it to him. Outstanding job all the way around, and during the at bat against Ohtani, really kept the ball out of the middle of the plate, attacking with that velocity.
Albert Pujols coming to camp a lot leaner. Worked out a lot during this past offseason. Didn't have to rehab any type of injury or any type of surgery.
Very happy about that.
Yep.
You know, Abel got to spend a lot of time with Albert in the backfields in Southern California high schools, and not only hitting but also a lot of time at first base before spring training began.
Here's the next pitch, and that one there, he checks his swing at pitch he went around. Took something off that one, and the count on Albert, a couple strikes. They do have a left side infield shift with Albert batting. 3 infielders on that left side, and the next delivery, that's outside. Around the infield, the first baseman today here for the Rockies is Jordan Patterson. DJ LeMahieu at second. Nolan Arenado is the third baseman, and Trevor Story at short. Most of the regulars in the infield. The pitch, and Albert drills one in a dead center field, but backpedaling and under and making the catch right near the rim of the track in dead center is Tapia, and that will end the inning. The top of the first inning brought to you today by Rotolo Chevrolet in Fontana, the #1 Chevrolet dealer in California. Rotolo is pursuing excellence every day. Visit them at rotolo.com. Half inning in the books, no score here in Scottsdale. Angels and Rockies on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Today, his first start this spring for the Angels as he gets ready to face the leadoff man, Raimel Tapia, the center fielder. And he was showing signs of bunting, ends up taking that pitch. It's in there for a strike. 0-1 to count. LeMahieu and Arenado will follow here in the bottom of the first for Colorado. Third baseman Valbuena in on the grass, and the next pitch that's lifted in the air into center field. Going back is Eric Young Jr. He's still back, and on the warning track right in front of the wall, he gathers it in. That ball kept carrying. There's not a whole lot of wind here, at least at the start of the ball game, but that one kept Young moving back, but he makes the grab, and that's the first out.
And so far, some hard hit balls by both ball clubs. One batter for the Rockies, but Pujols, Valbuena hit the ball very well. And now Tapia making hard contact.
So here's LeMahieu, their second baseman. Right-handed batter who hit over 300 last year, hit 310. Been a Gold Glover a couple times in his career, including last year. And
he's got batting title. He's got Gold Gloves. He's a good-sized second baseman. You look at him, he looks more like a corner infielder, and he can hit.
And here he grounds one right to second. Coward is playing there for the Angels this afternoon, and he will easily get the Rockies second baseman. So 2 quick outs. Shoemaker off to a good start. Nolan Arenado will be the next batter. Another outstanding season for him. 130 runs batted in a year ago. 37 homers, hit 309. Missed only 3 games.
It's total all-around outstanding player.
Arenado from El Toro High School. And the first pitch, he is taking that one for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Fouled back just to our right, backing out of play.
Off to a good start with a bat here in the spring. Driving the ball very well. One of these years, Terry, he's going to continue to put those numbers. But the MVP voting really has not been all that favorable towards him.
Here's the pitch, and this one is hit hard into right center field. Chasing is Liriano, and he will make the catch near the rim of the track in right center. So another ball hit pretty well, but gathered in, and a quick first inning is over here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. We head to the second with no score on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Second inning baseball here. Angels and the Colorado Rockies. First batter up for the Angels is catcher Rene Rivera. He's the cleanup batter today, and he takes the first pitch for a strike and questions the home plate umpire Mark Carlson. Looks like a first pitch changeup from Gray. And here's his next pitch. That is chopped on the right side and out of the reach of LeMahieu. That's going to be a base hit into right center. So Rivera is on. That's the game's first hit. And this copyrighted broadcast presented by Authority of Angels Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of today's game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball. Rockies have played 4 games this spring, as have the Angels, and Colorado 1-3 so far in the Cactus League. The Angels are 2-2. Here's the pitch. Big cut, and that one is fouled off by Liriano. Reimer Liriano, who spent time with the White Sox a year ago, most of last season, though, with their AAA club. He had 17 home runs in AAA last year. With the White Sox, he hit .220 with 1 homer.
You know, the one thing for Liriano, of course, after getting hit in the face with the pitch, there's been absolutely no flinching whatsoever, which could be an issue for so many guys after getting hit in the face. But he's gotten hit a couple times already, and he's not been very happy. Nothing near the face or his upper body, both hit by pitches around the legs, and hopefully Reimer taking advantage of what Mike Scioscia is providing for him. Playing time.
Injury to Liriano and facial fractures. That was back in the 2016 campaign. It happened right at the end of March. There's a pitch that is chased and missed, so it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Jon Gray has premium stuff in this early going. Even though the Angels, through the batters, have hit the ball well, his stuff is playing very well, especially secondary pitches.
He works from the stretch. Rivera at first, and the next pitch, and that's low, smothered by the catcher Tony Walters.
This was the combination for the Rockies in the opener in 2017. Walters behind the plate and Gray on the mound. Ended up making only 20 starts because of the broken bone in his left foot. 10 quality starts, 10-4 record, 3.67 ERA.
Here's the next pitch. This is bounced by the mound and through into center field. A base hit. Hit it hard enough to get it by the middle infielders. So a single for Liriano. The Angels have 2 straight hits to start off this second inning. And Eric Young Jr. will be the next batter.
In fact, for Jon Gray, very proud of only 30 walks, minimizing those compared to the strikeouts, and 110 in the third innings, 112 punch-outs.
So we'll see what Eric Young Jr. can do. Switch hitter. He'll be looking, if nothing else, to move those runners up a base, and they think he might be bunting here, so we'll see. Corner infielder's in, and sure enough, he is around the bunt, ends up taking the pitch, and that one missed for ball 1.
So far, Gray on the mound and Walters behind the plate, really doing a fine job and crossing up some hitters early in counts. Going to some sharp breaking balls.
1 ball and no strikes to count. Just underway. We're in the second inning, top of the second, with no score. Each team had a fast first inning. Shoemaker threw only 7 pitches in the bottom of the first. And here's the next delivery. It is a bunt, and it's pushed in front of the plate. Gray will pick it up, and the pitcher's throw to first is in time. But a good bunt by Eric Young Jr. as he moves Rivera to third, Liriano up to second. That's the first out in the inning, and Nolan Fontana will bat.
Well, things you want to see from guys like E.Y. Jr. Versatility with the bat. We know he can play the outfield. All 3 spots if needed. The ability to slow the game down and really play up to his game when it comes down to gaining runners over and bunting over for some guys hitting behind him.
So here is Fontana, left-handed batter. Infield backed up for the most part, except for
Arenado over there at third base. He's right at the edge of the grass, in a little bit. And the first pitch, that is a first pitch fastball in there on Fontana for strike one. Right-hander is set. Here's the next pitch. That's a shot that's out near second base. Stopped, though, by LeMahieu. His only chance for an out will be at first. It's in time to get Fontana. Scoring is Rivera. Liriano moves over to third, and on that 4-3 ground out, the Angels get the game's first run. It's 1-0 Halos. So the Angels have done some little things in this inning.
And they count really big. As the guys that have done those little things know that for them to have a chance to be on this roster at any given time during the season, those are the things they need to do consistently.
Here's Coward at the plate. A hit would mean another run with 2 outs. He digs in, switch hitter batting left, and the first pitch. That's taken in there for strike one.
Coward for the Angels last year, 50 games, 225 average, 3 home runs, 11 RBI. Sure, I would say he got a chance actually had stayed just on an even level consistent to, he would have played the rest of the season, I think, at second base before the Angels made the trade for Brandon Phillips.
Yep. Here's the next pitch, and that is in there for strike. So a fastball and the count 0-2. Coward is 2 for 9 so far this spring. He has yet to drive in a run, but he's in an RBI situation here. That runner at third.
Got off to a decent start, then the strikeouts started piling up. The one thing that never suffered is, of course, his outstanding defense.
Next pitch. That's high and away. Fastball at 95. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Angels and the Rockies, they will meet in the regular season. A couple of home-and-home series. The Angels will play in Colorado on the 8th and 9th of May, and the Rockies will come to the Big A on August 27th and 28th. That one is low and inside. And, of course, the Rockies under the direction of former Angels pitching coach and former Padres manager Buddy Black.
And former Angels special advisor to the general manager, Buddy Black.
Yep.
That was his last job with the Angels before he took over in Colorado.
Buddy in his second year as the Rockies manager. There's a ground ball through on the right side in between LeMahieu and the first baseman Patterson. It rolls out to the right fielder Hilliard. An RBI hit with 2 outs. You love seeing that. Coward brings in Liriano, and it's 2-0 Angels.
Like what I saw from Coward, the at-bat quiet with his legs, his hands, and really laying that bat flat on that shoulder to begin with. And the best part was the swing he put on where he had a nice follow through even with where that level of the pitch was.
So the batter now is Jahmai Jones. He is the Angels' 9-hole hitter, and he takes the first pitch.
And John Gray, a pitcher that you can run on. 9 stolen bases allowed in 11 attempts last season. So a little flinching there at first base with a big lead before that first pitch. Coward at first base.
There's a toss over to first, and having to dive back goes Coward. Coward can run a little bit. Last season, 19 stolen bases in AAA. We had 4 with the Angels. Guy at the plate for the Angels can run. That's Jam Jones. 27 stolen bases last year, an A-ball in the Angels system. Here's the next pitch, and he was late on the swing on that one as Gray took a little something off that pitch. Gave him a slider, it looked like.
A very tight spin on that one. It looked fastball all the way into home plate to Jam Jones. Hey, Jam wanted to put the jam on the brakes and couldn't stop the swing.
Tried to call off the jam. That's a roller derby term.
It's a big league cutter he just saw.
Here's the pitch, and that is a little bit low, and there's a toss up the first base side, and diving back to the bag on the snap throw is Coward. Jam Jones, who's batting, has had a pair of hits so far, 2 for 7. One of them a triple. We saw him running the bases when he got that one.
fun to watch. He's done a nice job. I think it's a very solid, efficient routes to the baseball in the outfield.
So ready is Gray before he comes to the plate. He'll snap a throw over there to first base, and Coward goes back. Angels have scored twice in the inning, have used 3 singles and 2 groundouts to produce those 2 runs. Gray with the long blonde hair working from the stretch. And the next pitch, that's way up and in. That fastball 95. Well, Buena would be up next if the inning continues. Matt Shoemaker will be pitching with at least a 2-run lead when he works in the bottom of the inning. Angels will be back at Tempe Diablo tomorrow to take on the Cleveland Indians. There goes Coward in the pitch. That one is cut on and missed. Throw down to second. It's going to be in time, and the inning will end on the caught stealing. So that's how things will wrap up for the Angels here on the 2-4 caught stealing at second base. Angels get a pair, though. We head to the bottom of the second. It's 2-0 Halos on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Shoemaker with a 2-run cushion. We begin the bottom of the second. Angels up 2-0. Story, McMahon, and Tachman will be the batters here as we get things ready to begin. We were kind of amazed during the national anthem when we looked down the right field side. Of course, all the players very attentive for the singing of the national anthem. And the
Terry, what did you see?
Well, down the right field side is where the Rockies bullpen is, and the Angels is out down the left field side. But there must have been 30 people in uniforms, and I'm not talking about military uniforms, I'm talking about Rockies uniforms lined up for that national anthem. So they have a lot of pitchers around here today, and they weren't the position players who were lined up down there, because the position players were lined up more in front of the first base dugout area.
Right. Some of them went to the dugout, but there's at least about 12 bodies out there right now, maybe even more.
There's a cut and a miss on a high 0-2 fastball, and down on strikes goes Story. So Shoemaker gets him on 3 pitches. And here is Ryan McMahon getting ready to bat. McMahon is a player who the Rockies are going to have to decide. Is he going to be a guy that plays first base for them this season? He had a terrific year last year in the minors between AA and AAA. He hit .355 last year, and he had 20 homers, and he had 39 doubles, and he drove in just shy of 90 runs. And he did spend some time last year with Colorado as well, though hit under 200 in limited action. Here he lifts one in the air down the left field side, but it's going to stay in the ballpark, and down near the rim of the track down in that left field corner is Jahmai Jones to put it away, and Shoemaker has gotten a couple of quick outs here to start off the bottom of the second, and here's Mike Tauchman.
Always good to see those local kids, Terry. We see them with a big league uniform in spring training. Ryan McMahon from Yorba Linda.
So McMahon set down. He was a left-handed batter, and he begins a string of them here in their batting order. At the plate now, taking that pitch is Tauchman. The final 5 hitters in their lineup today, all left-handed hitters. Tauchman spent a little bit of time last year, 31 games with the Rockies. Corner outfielder, takes that pitch low. He was in AAA last year, and he hit over 330.
It seems like all these youngsters they have in there today have big power numbers last year in the minors.
Yep. Here's the next pitch. That's lifted foul on the left side. That's backing out of play. They have a fair crowd here today. Nothing that large. Yesterday, the game in Peoria against the Padres, they had 2,700.
Still, it is the most beautiful facility here in the Valley.
Here's the next pitch, and that one is a little bit high. So the count goes to 3-1. This facility is shared by the Rockies and also the Arizona Diamondbacks. Next pitch. That's lifted in the air into center field. Going back is Eric Young Jr. Still going back, and that ball to straightaway center is gone. That is a drive out there, 410, but you have to elevate the baseball. You probably have to clear about a 20-foot wall or so to dead center. And that one did just sneak over the top part of the wall to dead center field. Nothing cheap about it, though. And a home run. Angels pitching gave up 5 of them yesterday, and the first hit given up by Shoemaker is a home run today. It's 2-1 Halos.
It won't take a whole lot to drive the ball here today with the wind blowing out slightly. That breeze and pitch up in the zone for Matt Shoemaker. Very little movement on it. And we're just talking about these young Rockies. They have a lot of power.
There's a little pop into shallow left field, and that's going to drop in for a blue pit. Breaking for second is the batter. The throw to second, and just getting in safely is Patterson with a 2-out double. Jones' throw to second base was a little bit wide. He came charging in. Even with his speed, he was far from catching that ball. It was just a little shallow pop into left field, and it turns out to be a bloop double. So the inning continues, and Sam Hilliard, a young player who was in A-ball last year, will be the next batter.
Throws wide to second base. Jones did everything he could to retrieve the baseball barehand, in fact, on a second hop and fired away.
So here is Hilliard. He's a big guy, 6'5", big left-handed hitter. Had a very good year last year in A-ball. And the first pitch, and he hits it sharply right to third, but right at Valbuena, who fields it cleanly and throws him out, and that is how the inning will end. So they do get a couple of hits and a run, the run on the 2-out homer by Tauchman, but after 2, the Angels have a 2-1 lead here at Salt River Fields on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. New pitcher has entered the game for Colorado as we get set for the third inning. Jeff Hoffman is his name, and he is a right-hander. John Gray, their starter, ended up going the first 2 innings. He allowed 3 hits, 2 runs. Both of those runs were earned. He did not walk any. He struck out 1 batter. So the first batter for the Angels will be Jahmai Jones. He was batting when the Angels were up in the second inning, but Coward got thrown out trying to steal to end the inning. So Jones is back at the plate facing a new pitcher now. And here's the first delivery. That one's a little bit inside. It misses for ball 1. First pitch fastball was 94 miles per hour from Jeff Hoffman. Everyone's set, and here comes the next pitch, and that's right in there for a called strike.
Hoffman's got a good arm right over the top, but also he can run the ball back out into the hitting zone, starting it off with a 2-seamer off the plate.
Or first-round pick of the Toronto Blue Jays came over to the Rockies back in July of 2015, and this one is bounced right back to him. He has it, and his throw will easily get Jones on the comebacker. So 1 away. Valbuena will be the next batter. And fans, don't forget to join us Monday, April the 2nd, and Tuesday, April the 3rd. Angels will take on the Cleveland Indians at the Big A with game times at 7:07 for both nights. Fans will receive a wall calendar courtesy of U.S. Bank while supplies last. Visit angels.com/promotions for details. Jeff Hoffman fastball, and he'll top out around 98 miles per hour. He'll sink it as well as a curve and changeup. 23 games, 16 as a starter last year with the Rockies. And he delivers the first pitch here on Valbuena, who pops it foul, backing out of play on the left side.
It's got a little resemblance on somebody we saw with many uniforms, Terry, but also with the Rockies. Came up as a prospect. Jamie Wright.
Jamie Wright, yeah.
There's a little Jamie Wright in him, in that uniform.
Jamie Wright was a guy, it seemed like every spring he was with a new club on a non-guaranteed contract and would end up making the club in spring training.
You're right. He bounced around many times and multiple teams, multiple times.
Yeah. Pitch was in there, a fastball. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Hoffman was 6-5 with the Rockies last year. ERA was high, though, 5.89. It's a guy who's usually around the plate and the pitch, and this is chopped on the right side. They have a shift on 3 infielders. LeMahieu, the second baseman, fields and throws out Valbuena, and that'll be the second out. Easy ground out. So Ohtani will be the next batter. He took a called third strike his first time up.
Well, Shohei gets to see a different pitcher this time because he could not figure out John Gray, who painted on him with pretty much every single offering.
Ohtani, a left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch, and that one is taken a little bit inside for ball 1.
Clearly see, watching on Fox Sports, was the protection he is wearing from the elbow all the way into his pitching hand, of course, the bottom hand.
Here's the next delivery, and he skies one down the right side. It's shallow in right field, and waiting for it to come down under, making the grab is Hilliard, and that'll end the inning. That was way up in the air, but a routine play. So the Angels have a quiet third, and we go to the bottom of the third inning with the Halos up on the Rockies 2-1 here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Rockies catcher, their 9-hole hitter, another left-handed batter, Tony Walters, will lead things off, and Matt Shoemaker is still out there. He had thrown 19 pitches coming into this inning. His first delivery misses on Walters for ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Good to see him go out there, not have to finish off this outing out there in the bullpen. Matt Shoemaker is about competing, and I'm sure if the option was offered to him, he said, I want to go back on the mound, get to my 30 plus pitches, and get it done. He made 7 pitches only in that first inning, and then 12 in the second.
So it's a 1-1 count on Walters, who cuts and misses that one. Chased a splitter right there, and they count 1-2. The Angels do have action in the bullpen. Eduardo Paredes is the right-hander who's up in the pen, and not to see, kind of tend to think Shoemaker won't go the full inning here unless he really gets some quick outs. Here's one that's lifted foul down the left side, backing out of play.
That's one thing he's done. First 6 outs all came on 3 or fewer pitches.
So it's 1-2 here on Walters, who was in 83 games last year with the Rockies. He hit .240 last season. And the next pitch, that's way outside. Fastball missed. So the count's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And back with the Rockies. Former Angel, former Rocky, current Rocky again, Chris Iannetta.
Here's a pop-up on the third base side. Shading his eyes with his glove is the third baseman, Valbuena. He puts it away on the dirt over there. And that'll be the first out. Easy play.
So Chris Iannetta, Terry, returns home. Original organization.
Yep. Rockies signed him in the offseason to a 2-year deal. He had been with the Diamondbacks last year. Had a pretty good year, did Iannetta last season.
Yes, he did. Very good job with that pitching staff, too.
17 home runs for him last year. Hit over 250. Here's a bouncer on the right side. It's fouled off by Tapia. He flied out his first time up.
You're still catching yourself going, that is Albert Pujols, right? It's a new look Albert Pujols over at first base. Lean machine.
New look.
Happy to be on the field.
Here's the pitch, and Tapia moved away from that one, and that was in there, a fastball. So it's 0-2 on the Rockies center fielder. 288 average for him a year ago. Not a whole lot of power, just 2 homers in 70 games. And there's one that he fouls off the end of his bat. Now the outfield, you would think, for the Rockies is going to feature Charlie Blackmon in center, and Ian Desmond likely in left, and Parr in right field.
Parr just had surgery, so he's out for a while.
Tapia getting a chance here today. And the next delivery, it's a little pop into right. That's going to fall in for a base hit. So 1-out single, and sure enough, Mike Socia is coming out of the dugout, and that would appear to be it for Shoemaker. Mike has already made the move to the bullpen. So Paredes was warming up, and he will be coming in to take over for Matt Shoemaker. Did a solid job here in his first outing this spring. We have a break in the action, a pitching change, and we get back still 2-1 Angels, bottom of the 3rd inning on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Eduardo Paredes is the new Angels pitcher. And this will be his second appearance this spring. He's worked 2/3 of an inning, allowing no runs, and he's ready to go here against DJ LeMahieu. There goes the runner. The pitch is a ball. Throw to second. It's right on target and gunned down. Trying to steal is Tapia. Rivera with a strong throw to second base. That's out number 2.
Mike Scioscia quite proud of the group he has behind the plate here competing for jobs. 3 of them. Rivera signed as a free agent. Has been very impressive here in the early going with the bat, and of course blocking in with his accuracy throwing to the bases, just like you saw there.
So 1 ball, no strikes to count now with 2 outs. And the pitch, this is lifted in the air and hit into right center field. That ball's carrying out in right center field, and that one is going to bang off the wall. Liriano just getting it back towards the infield, and that will be a 2-out double for LeMahieu.
That's what LeMahieu does. One of the best in all of baseball. Playing at Coors Field or not, this guy can go out there and drive that outside pitch as good as anyone in the game to the opposite field, and finds himself, of course, contending for batting titles, hitting over 300, and not just slapping the ball the other way, but driving it the other way. Always among the major league leaders in hits to the opposite field and to the middle of the field.
So now a runner at second. Still 2 outs, and here is Arenado, a very dangerous hitter, and that pitch is taken for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Arenado flied out to Liriano in right field his first time up. Already a couple home runs for him this spring as he took a big cut at that one and fouls it off on the right side. 0-2 the count. Matt Shoemaker went 2 1/3 innings today. And Shoemaker a touch for the 1 run. No walks. And he had 1 strikeout.
Got his work in through strikes, 29 pitches, 21 strikes. A lot of home run. Last season, Shoemaker allowed 15 home runs in 77 2/3 innings.
Allowed 3 hits in his 2 1/3 innings. Here's the next pitch. Checking is Arenado. Did he go around on that one? No. Angels asked for the appeal.
Eduardo Paredes on the mound from Venezuela. Shows some flashes of brilliance in some spurts last year. And a pinch came out and really solid up some innings for Mike Scioscia.
He's set in the next delivery. That one bounces in. Good stop by Rivera.
Short arm delivery. Not a whole lot going on when it comes down to mechanics. Quick load up. Has been a late inning reliever in the minors. Piled up some saves in the minors a few years ago. And Mike Scioscia and the rest of the staff like his versatility. Go out there and give you multiple innings.
Here's the pitch, and that didn't miss by much. A little bit low though, and the count's full. It's 3-2. Paredes is kind of in a dogfight with a few other Angel relievers in camp to get maybe one of the final couple spots in the Angels bullpen, and it all depends on how many starters the Angels will have. That'll dictate how many relievers as well, if in fact the Angels will have the 6-man rotation. There's Arenado fouling one back above us out of play. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, the Ohtani factor will factor into a few things the Angels need to do personnel-wise as to how that final roster is structured. It'll affect the bench. It'll affect the bullpen, and of course, mainly the rotation.
Here's the 3-2, and this is skied in the air, shallow in right center field. Liriano comes in. He's waiting for it to come down. It's way up there, and he'll squeeze it, and that will end the inning. So in the inning, they end up getting nothing on the scoreboard. They had a couple of hits, and they will leave a runner at second base. We are through 3, and the 4th is right around the corner. 2-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Top of the fourth we go. It's like Jeff Hoffman is still pitching. He came in last inning and had a 1-2-3 inning against the Angels. So Albert Pujols will lead it off. And then Rene Rivera and Reimer Liriano. Albert hit a ball hard his first time up. It lined out to the center fielder Tapia. First pitch, and that's a breaking ball. He takes it for strike one. Nothing in one.
Struck it very well. It was a 97 mile-an-hour fastball by John Gray, and the exit velocity of Pujols' bat, 100.3 miles per hour to deep center field.
Here's the next pitch. That was way shy of home plate. That one bounces in off speed pitch. So it's 1-1. So we're even getting that kind of info now in spring training.
We have it. If you need it, ask Pollo.
If you need it, it will appear.
It will be there. There's nowhere to hide nowadays, Terry.
Here's the 1-1. And that's a pitch that was so high it skipped off the glove of Walter. So Hoffman bounced one about 7 feet in front of the plate the pitch before, and that one there he almost threw it right over the head of the catcher. So he's having some command issues at the moment. 2-1 to count.
Look at Pujols, and it was a combination of working out, different diet, adjusting things in his nutrition, Terry, and there's that new look Albert Pujols.
There's one fouled off. Yeah, he's done a real good job of getting into shape here, and that was the case even before the games began.
Takes a lot of pride in what he does, and he says playing first base really helps a lot with his hitting because you have no time to be thinking only between at-bats about the at-bats.
Next pitch on Albert, and that one there, he lines right at the third baseman, Arenado. So he hit another ball hard, but right at somebody, and that'll be the first out. Rivera will be the batter. Let's pause 10 seconds now for stations to identify themselves on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. So here's Rivera batting. He singled and scored his first time up, and he takes that one from Hoffman for a ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes. We'll check things out on the out-of-town scoreboard for you on this Tuesday. It's brought to you by the 2018 Jeep Cherokee with an EPA estimated 30 highway miles per gallon. You can test drive one today, and there's a cut and a miss. Well, in the Cactus League, Mariners and Royals are scoring a lot of runs in the early going today in their ball game. And surprise, it's 6-6 Kansas City and Seattle in just the bottom of the second inning. Indians and A's are 3-3, top of the fourth. Dodgers and Rangers no score, top of the fourth. There's a pitch that misses. Diamondbacks up on the Giants in Scottsdale 4-1. That's in the third. In the second inning, Cubs lead the White Sox 4-1. Also today, another Mariners split squad team leading the Padres 3-1. That's in the fourth. And there's one that's fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. In Florida, as far as the Grapefruit League, Tigers lead the Phillies 10-6 in the seventh. The Pirates and Braves played to a 3-3 tie. Orioles beat Tampa Bay 2-1. Game went 10 innings. A 2-2 tie, the Nationals and Marlins. Here's a high fly ball that's lifted deep out into center field, and that one is gone out there into dead center field. So putting a charge into that one is Rivera, and we've had a pair of homers to dead center here in the first 4 innings of the ball game. Angels increased the lead. It's now 3-1.
Well, there's the one aspect that really jumps out at you with Rene Rivera, who has bounced around many organizations, many big league clubs, is how his power showed up last year. And of course, the Angels know what they're getting from him behind the plate. But it'll be a plus in any way for somebody to complement Martin Maldonado with some offense too.
So here's Liriano, and he hits one hard, but on the ground over on the left side. 2 balls, 1 strike. That home run just the second hit by the Angels so far in the first 5 games here in the Cactus League.
Any offense coming from behind the plate, the way these guys handle the staff, is a huge plus.
Rockies starting pitcher John Gray is now available.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Once again, Rockies starting pitcher John Gray.
Here's the next pitch, and Liriano takes that one outside. The rest of the scores in the Florida Grapefruit League: Yankees up on the Blue Jays 9-6. That's in the 9th. 6th inning, Astros leading the Mets 6-1. And also a ball game a little bit later on. Minnesota will be hosting the Boston Red Sox. One other game as far as in the Cactus League, and we'll get to it after the pitchers. One that's lifted high out into deep left field, and backtracking on the warning track, making the grab is Tachman. So Liriano flies out for out number 2. Eric Young Jr. will be the next batter. Reds and Brewers are playing today in Maryvale, and that is a scoreless game in the 4th inning. Our game, 3-1 Angels here in the top of the 4th. Eric Young Jr., nice sac bunt, his first time up. That was back in the 2nd inning. He moved Rivera and Liriano to 3rd and 2nd, and then a ground out by Fontana brought in one of them. Here's a little pop down the right field side. Circling under towards the line is Sam Hilliard. He will retire Young, and that will end the inning. But the Angels add on here in the 4th, the 1-out solo homer by Rivera. And as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, Angels are leading at the moment 3-1 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Two changes for the Angels as we begin the bottom of the fourth inning. Jim Johnson will come in to pitch for the Angels. And when he throws his first pitch, he'll be officially appearing in his second game this spring. And the Angels have a new first baseman. Albert has left the ball game.
Albert's going to be feeling good about what he did well at first base. Saw some range.
Couple liners off his bat.
Yeah, really, the ball jumping off of his bat nicely.
Matt Place is the new first baseman, and this was by design. Albert's not being taken out because of any injury or anything like that. Just getting 2 at-bats and calling it a day as far as his first game action here in the Cactus League. First pitch in there from Johnson. This is Trevor Story at the plate, right-handed batter, and the next pitch, that one just missed.
As you talk about Albert Terry, not forget, this guy's closing in on 3,000 hits, 2,968. Also, Albert comes into the season with 1,918 RBI.
614 homers in his career. That's 7th best in the majors. And Albert, even though he hit 241 last year, still a career 305 hitter. There's one a little bit low. So it's a 2-1 count here on Trevor Story, first-round pick of Colorado back in 2011. Hit 239 last year, 24 homers, 82 runs batted in, and he checks on that one. That pitch just missed. 3-1.
Came into the league in a storm, quickly hitting balls everywhere out of that ballpark in bunches.
He will strike out, though. 191 strikeouts last year, and that time he had a good eye. He takes that one for ball 4, so he gets a 5-pitch walk. Mentioning all those strikeouts by Story last season, he set a Rockies franchise record in striking out, but still provided a lot of power at the plate.
He was happy to be on the field after the injury.
So digging in and swinging at the first pitch is McMahon. He chops the ball to short. Going to the bag over there is Fontana. Relay over to first base is in time, and that's a nice double play.
Jim Johnson will do that, and not very many people can say they've had consecutive years of 50-plus saves, and Jim Johnson is that one guy. The Angels have pretty much had on the radar for a few years now. Found a way to get him on a trade with the Braves and providing some experience in the back end of that bullpen. And a great mentor to some of the young relievers out there, too.
So the batter now is Tachman, who slugged the home run to dead center his first time up. 2 outs, nobody on.
And for Jim Johnson, what's unusual, a couple of things about him. He works from the windup on the far side, the first base side of the mound, and then you'll see when he is about to deliver the baseball, you see him flash that glove. Turned over.
There's a pitch a little bit low. Yeah, you don't see too many relievers these days come into the game working from the windup.
Simple, over the top, good finish.
There's a cut and a miss. 2-1 the count here.
Amazing.
On Tachman.
Amazing too, Terry, is before he saved all those games for the Orioles, he actually had a tear in his elbow, and a muscle in his elbow. And beyond that, he came back as strong as ever and saved over 100 games, as mentioned earlier, combined in 2 years.
22 saves for him last year, although the ERA was high a year ago. It was over 5.5. But he's in a battle for the Angels' closer spot. That's fouled back behind home plate. So the count now is 3-2.
You watch them walking around the backfields and batting practice or on the main field, and they're always surrounded by young peers trying to pick a little bit from all that knowledge that he's accumulated through the years.
See what gives on the payoff. Fouled back to the screen. Staying alive is Tachman when the Angels bat in the fifth inning, up 3-1. It's Fontana, Cowart, and Jones scheduled bet. And we'll see if the Rockies bring in a new pitcher. They do have a lefty up in their bullpen right now.
And we know one thing, they have a lot of bodies out there too.
That one is high on the 3-2, and that'll be ball 4. So Tachman had a good at bat. Waits out a walk. Johnson's walked 2 in the inning, although there's only 1 on base.
And Buddy Black talking about his pitching staff overall. He said he will carry 13 pitchers, 5 starters, 8 relievers. He also wants some guys who provide some versatility on the bench. Says even his backup catcher in Tony Walters, and a catcher that perhaps in an emergency can go out there and back up in the infield. Pat Valleca, a very valuable backup infield, but it can also play the outfield. So in terms of managing a rotation, Terry, and moving the pieces around, no doubt Buddy Black amongst the best and most knowledgeable.
One ball, no strikes is the count here on Jordan Patterson.
Rockies talking about 4th outfielder among those. Raimel Tapia, David Dahl, and some of the youngsters here, as he mentioned, that they're going to have to make a decision on soon.
There's a pitch on its way. That one is in there. Talking about the Rockies pitching staff, and they had 5 starting pitchers younger than 26 years old make at least 16 starts last year.
It's remarkable. See how good they were pretty much throughout the season.
There's a high fly ball that's carrying out in left field, and jumping up at the fence and making the grab on that one is Jam Jones. Well, we've talked about his speed and his athletic ability. We saw what a very good athlete he was there to make that grab, and he had some good hang time vertical leap out there and left. So Jones making a nice play, and that'll end the inning. No runs in the inning, no hits. They leave a runner on. 4 completed. The 5th is next. Angels have a 3-1 lead here in Scottsdale on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.
Think of what
Well, we have a few changes for the Rockies as we start the 5th inning. Nolan Fontana will be the first batter up for the Angels. There's a new pitcher in the ballgame, the veteran lefty Mike Dunn. And his first pitch, that one misses for a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes. They also have Garrett Hampson now playing second base as LeMahieu has left the ballgame. And they've taken out Arenado as well, their all-star third baseman, and Ryan McMahon, who was DHing, has now moved from the DH role to third base. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. That's a little bit low. So with the DH moving into the field, they will no longer have a DH the rest of the way. Their pitchers will have to bat, but I'm sure they'll be pinch hitting when that spot comes up in the batting order now.
Oh, nothing new. Buddy Black getting his flow of moving some pieces around, National League style.
Here's the next delivery, and that is a strike on the outside corner. 2-2 on Fontana.
Mike Dunn, veteran, good arm always. And he's among that group of Wade Davis, who was signed as a free agent to close out the ball game. Brian Shaw added. Jake McGee, experienced also lefty with a very good arm. Adam Ottavino, Chris Russin. So a nice core for the Rockies.
Full count now, 3-2. We'll see what gives lefty-lefty matchup. Dunn has always had a good fastball, sink it, excellent slider, cutter, and a changeup. And here comes the 3-2 on Fontana. He takes a called third strike. He started to make a move to first base thinking he had a walk, but it didn't go his way. So that's out number 1. Caleb Cowart will be the batter. And fans, don't forget to join us Friday, April the 6th. The Angels will face the Oakland A's at the Big A. Game time 7:07. Fans will receive a Pujols countdown to 3,000 action figure courtesy of Muscle Maker Grill while supplies last. You can visit angels.com/promotions for details. So here's Cowart, and the first pitch. That one's right in there for a called strike. Dunn replacing Hoffman. Jeff Hoffman worked the last 2 innings. He gave up the 1 hit. That was the homer by Rivera. And he did not walk or strike out anyone. Here's the next pitch, and that one is fouled back to the screen. You were talking about Mike Dunn, a veteran reliever, 68 games last year for the Rockies and 5-1 record ERA of just under 4.5. He's pitched in at least 50 games the last 7 years in a row.
And originally a Yankee farmhand, correct? Came through the Yankee system.
Yeah, way back in 2004, he was a 33rd round pick of the Yankees. Here's one that's fouled off down the right side and backing out of play. So 0-2 on Cowart, who's driven in a run for the Angels, drove in the second run of the game. It's 3-1 Halos here in the 5th. One player that this Colorado franchise had relied on for a number of years running is no longer with them. There are some people, though, that might like to have him back. Here's one that's chopped on the right side, and Hampson, the new second baseman, will throw out Cowart. That'll be the second out, 4-3 on the ground down. Jam Jones, who made that nice catch to end the bottom of the 4th inning, will be the batter. He's 0 for 1. Carlos Gonzalez Cargo, Jose, free agent at the end of last season after many years with the Rockies and some very good years for them. And I know Arenado has been vocal, Nolan Arenado, saying, hey, we miss this guy. We miss him for a lot of reasons, not only because of what he had done on the field, but we miss him in the clubhouse. So he's still out there, and you kind of wonder if maybe they might consider bringing him back as a free agent. Here's the pitch. This is popped in the air down the right side. The right fielder is under, and that's Hilliard. And Sam Hilliard makes the grab, and Mike Dunn has a quick, clean inning here as the Angels go down quietly in the 5th. The bottom of the 5th is up next. 3-1 Angels here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick in Scottsdale. We get ready to move to the bottom of the 5th on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels' fourth pitcher of the day is Blake Wood. He takes over for Jim Johnson, who worked last inning. He didn't allow any hits or runs. He walked a couple, did not strike out any, and Blake Wood gets ready for his second appearance this spring. He was knocked around a little bit the first time we saw him work for the Angels. 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 3 hits and 4 runs, a couple earned. So Wood is ready. And the first pitch, that's a ground ball by the mound out behind second. Nice stop by Fontana, but the throw is just a little bit late. It's going to be an infield hit.
Well, you and I were talking about Hilliard, Terry, and the speed and the ability to steal a base, but here we see it on display. Fine stop behind the bag by Fontana, but by the time he slid, got up and threw, which was actually pretty fast. There's no way he was going to get the speedster.
Yeah, he can really move for a big guy. He's 6'5", and he can really get down the line. So at the plate now, cutting at the pitch, fouling it off is Walters, their catcher, and pitch foul back on the left side, backing out of play.
Hilliard stole 37 bases last year in single A, even though he's 24 years old. Really solid all the way around season in single A.
Toss over to first, and he's back to the bag safely. Tony Walters last year, and he's in a fight with Iannetta as far as who will be the #1 catcher. You got to think it's probably going to be Iannetta. But Walters in 83 games last year with Colorado did not have any home runs. There goes the runner. The pitch is a strike, throw to second, and that's not even close. That's a stolen base there. Hilliard's impressive the way he runs for such a big guy.
Tell you what, it was also the perfect combination for him with the high leg kick in time to the play for Wood. He had a huge lead, made sure he was going home, and he was thinking one way.
And Blake Wood is a guy who kind of struggles with that part of his game. He doesn't really hold base runners very well.
I think Buddy Black was not aware of that.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's like, you know, we're not even waiting around. Go out there. 1-4, 1-5, you're gone.
There's the pitch, that's high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hilliard out there, that base runner. Good size lead off second out. It kind of reminds you a little bit of Bradley Zimmer.
Yes, boy, he put on quite the show against the Angels last year in Cleveland.
Yeah. Another big guy, an outfielder who can run. You see guys that size and you just don't expect them to be that fast. There's the pitch, and it's grounded on the first base side. Matt Fleiss is in there for Albert, and he will field that one and easily beat Walters to the bag. But Hilliard moves over to third, so he is there with 1 out, and Tapia, the center fielder, who's had a 1-for-2 day, will be the next batter.
The Giant RV Show at Angel Stadium starts this Friday in Anaheim. Come swing into savings on great all-star RV selections, free parking, free admission. It all starts this Friday at Angel Stadium.
So here is Tapia. Well, Blaine at third is in. Angels trying to maybe cut down that runner at the plate. There's one that's fouled off right into the Rockies' first base dugout. And then I think that ball might have skipped back into the seats. 0-1 the count. Angels up 3-1. We're in the bottom of the 5th here in Scottsdale at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Pitch missed, the count even. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Balbuena playing slightly in front of the bag for third. Thice maybe a half a step behind the bag. Let's see how Buddy Black plays it here. Hit ball to the corners.
There's a ball sliced down the left side, but a foul ball. So it's 1-2. We'll be back here at this ballpark a week from today, next Tuesday, when the Angels play the other team that shares this ballpark, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
And the attendance will be much different. And Kings of the Valley D-backs.
Yep.
Playoff team. Torey Lovullo, your good friend. What an outstanding job with that ball club last year.
The manager of the year in the National League last year. There's a pitch that misses, and it's 2-2. Yeah, Angels will have a couple of games in Tempe against Arizona as well. And, of course, we'll see the D-backs in the regular season. The Angels will play a series against them out here in the Valley during the regular season. Little 2-game series. There's a pitch that is taken for a called third strike as Tapia kind of moved away from the pitch, and he is out looking. Big strikeout. It's the second out. Only the second strikeout for Angels pitching today.
That was the one thing Blake Wood was looking for. Perhaps going back to his first outing. A little more movement on that fastball. He found it in a very good situation here against Tapia, backing him away, and that ball running back out into the plate. Yeah, the D-backs gave the Rockies a little trouble last year in the NL West. Rockies went 8-11 against Arizona.
Batting now is Hampson, and this is his first time up. He's hitting out of LeMahieu's spot. He replaced him at second base. LeMahieu went 1 for 2. Yeah, I mentioned the Rockies and the problems they had against Arizona. The Angels will also have a little 2-game series against the D-backs at the Big A this season. So home and home against Colorado. The regular season, home and home against Arizona. D-backs will come to the Big A on the 18th and 19th of June.
So, Terry, after March 24th, you will not be done with the Valley of the Sun yet.
Nope.
Nice.
Here's the pitch. Shot back to the mound. This should end the inning. It's fielded there by Wood. He fields his position and underhands the toss over there to Theis, and that will retire Hampson. And Colorado here in the 5th inning. It started off with a leadoff hit. They lead a runner at third base, and we're moving to the 6th inning. Angels still up 3-1 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.
Moving on to the top of the 6th inning, where the Angels leading the Rockies 3-1 here in Scottsdale. Salt River Fears at Talking Stick. A new pitcher for the Rockies as right-hander Adam Ottavino wearing number 0.
First pitch was a ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Ottavino replacing Dunn, who had a 1-2-3 inning against the Angels with a strikeout in the 5th. Count now 2 balls and no strikes on Valbuena. They've done a few other things in the infield. They moved Hampson over to shortstop. Trevor Story is up the ball game. There's a slow breaking ball missed outside. Brendan Rodgers is now playing second base for them. And there's a pitch that misses on a 3-0, and that's ball 4. So Ottavino walks the first batter he faces today, Valbuena, and it looks like the Angels are going to pinch run for Luis. His day will be over.
Number 84, Michael Hermosillo, pinch runner for first base.
It's like Michael Hermosillo is going to be the pinch runner. And Ohtani will have an at-bat here, probably his last one of the day.
For the Rockies, the pitcher will bat
Another
first.
player appearance for Shohei, who has been already scheduled to take the mound on Friday.
Here's the pitch, and that one is fouled off over on the left side, but we're thinking it might be Friday against the Cubs, but now we're hearing it might be Friday against some minor leaguers from the Brewers.
Well, they're talking about a B game, perhaps, on Friday. Mike Scioscia said he's going to pitch either against the Cubs or in an early B game. And it looks like he will be pitching in the B game.
Here's the pitch, and that one is low.
Which is something that was quite common for years. It was a 10 a.m. game or 11 a.m. game in one of the backfields, and you were not necessarily facing the team that your big league team was facing. But guys needed to get a look, get their work in, get some at-bats.
One ball, one strike to count. Ohtani so far today a strikeout looking and a fly out to right. Flyout was a very high, shallow fly ball. He hit out to right field.
He just got under it, but he does elevate the baseball.
Here's the next pitch. He chops that one foul over on the first base side. So 1-2.
Ohtani, in his own words to us after the game yesterday, says at this time, in my experience, getting ready for a season in Japan, usually my batting is ahead of my pitching. Of course, keep in mind the program with Ohtani the day before, the day he pitches, and the day after. He will not be swinging a bat.
Here's the next delivery. It's chopped to the shortstop, kind of double clutching and still getting the throw over to second. Will be Hampson over to Rodgers. That'll be a force out. Ohtani will be on at first base, and it looks like he's going to be lifted for a pinch runner as well. So they force out Hermosillo going first to second. So Ohtani has an 0 for 3 day at the plate today. Matt Thaiss will be stepping up to the plate.
And big Chris Carter pinch running at first base. When was the last time he did that?
I don't know if he's ever done that in pro ball. Here's the pitch. This is chopped to the third baseman. This looks like 2. The flip to second, the relay on to first, and Thaiss and the Angels are retired. So it started off with that walk to Valbuena, and then 3 outs off the next 2 Angel batters who step up to the plate. Inning ends on the 5-4-3 double play. Bottom of the 6th inning is next. Angels still leading here 3-1 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels make a number of changes here as we get set to go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Noe Ramirez is the new pitcher, and his battery mate is Carlos Perez, new Angel catcher. And there's a bunt on the third base side. It's fielded there by Marte, who's playing third, and the ball pops off the glove of Theis. They're going to score that, an infield single. So Jonathan Daza, who had taken over in center field in the top of the inning for Colorado, just gets that infield hit.
Smart play. He really sold it because he even had a leg kick to begin with. Marte just coming into the game gets himself one of the toughest plays you can find immediately coming into a ball game.
And the pitch. This one is fouled back behind the plate.
The running Rockies. Again, Bob Black's got him going. These youngsters now coming into the game. Noticeable, they take good leads. And that is step number one to make it easier on yourself. As long as you know where your limitations are and how far you can get off, and in terms of get back on a pickoff.
Once again, Shohei Ohtani is now available in the Angels clubhouse.
Batting now is Brendan Rodgers. And here's the pitch, and that one is cut on and missed for strike two. Daza leading off at first base. Colin Walsh is taken over at second base for the Angels. He's one of a number of changes in the infield. We mentioned Marte is now playing third. And David Fletcher is the new Angel shortstop. Hermosillo stayed in the ball game. He's in right field. Noe Ramirez on the mound. Way in front. Here's the 0-2. Runner goes. Pitch is missed for the strikeout. Throw down to second. Waiting with the tag there is Walsh, and that'll be a strike him out, throw him out, double play. As Perez fires at the second base to gun down the base runner. They've had a couple of runners thrown out at second today.
Well, for the Angels catchers, a nice display of that transfer between the glove and the hand and firing away and throwing strikes. That tag just happened to find the foot coming down. Good job from all three. Ramirez delivering, Carlos throwing, and the tag at second base by Walsh.
So at the plate is the DH Ryan McMahon. He's had an 0-for-2 day. And here's the pitch, and that is on the outside corner.
Ramirez, as we saw a lot from him when he came over to the Angels, just comes in and throws strikes, different angles and looks, spins the ball well, very consistent with his release point. Occasionally, he told me he will change it, but has found a way to just make sure everything is right in front of him. Even after dropping down, he's got a plus changeup and very good command of his off-speed pitches.
He's another guy in the Angels scheme of things in that bullpen, fighting for one of those final bullpen spots. The pitch that's fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. Of course, the Angels have to decide what they're going to do with a guy that they took in the Rule 5 draft from the Minnesota Twins, and we've already seen him this spring, Luke Bard. If he doesn't make the Angels opening day roster, he would be forced to be returned back to the Twins if they want to pay the price to have him come back to their system. So he's in a good, as a player, he's in a good situation. Very good situation.
All he can control is what happens out there between the white lines.
Here's one lifted in the air in the left center field. That ball's hit well out there, and it's out of the reach of the Angels center fielder, Eric Young Jr. He'll fire it back to the infield, but not before stopping at second with a 2-out double. Second hit in the inning for the Rockies, Ryan McMahon, and that's his first hit of the day.
Daza, Rogers, McMahon, Tauchman, Patterson, Hilliard. A lot of good young players in that system for Colorado. Keep an eye on Brendan Rodgers, by the way. Fine young middle infielder with some power.
So here's Tachman. Yeah, Brendan Rodgers is considered their very best prospect in their system right now. Here's the pitch, and that one is low and inside. That young shortstop you alluded to, Rodgers, although he is playing second base today, he hit .387 last year in A-ball. 20-year-old a year ago.
Quite the slugger.
Here's the pitch. That's low and inside.
And they knew what it had in him the minute they drafted him.
Of course, the Rockies, outside of last season, have had a lot of losing seasons strung together, so they were getting some high picks each round.
Well picked.
Right.
Well scouted.
Yep. There's no guarantee, though, but at least they were in a position to get some good young talent. You got to pick right when you're making those picks.
Absolutely on the money. And the Rockies, in turning things around, got off to a good start. 16-10 in April. 17-12 in May.
239. That's 4-2.
And even when they scuffle a little bit, they're in a good position to bounce back and make a run and make it all the way into that wild card game.
Attendance today, 4,239, 42-39 here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. 3-1, the Angels on top, bottom of the sixth inning, and the pitch that's right in there, called strike. 2-2 the count. Tachman, Angels haven't gotten him out today. Hit a home run at dead center his first time up, walked his most recent time up. Noe Ramirez in relief of Blake Wood, who worked a scoreless inning last inning for the Angels. So it's a full count. We'll see what happens with two away. Runner at second is McMahon. And here's the payoff pitch. That's ball popped out near second base. It's caught there by Fletcher. The Angels shortstop retires Tachman, and the inning is over. So they had a couple of hits, including a double in the inning, but they failed to score. And the seventh is right around the corner with the Angels up 3-1 against the Rockies on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.
at third base, 91. Gibson now at first base, 77. Wendell.
A lot of changes here for the Rockies, and we'll pick them up for you in just a moment. They do have a new pitcher and catcher. Zach Gemiola is the new pitcher, and their new catcher is John Vasquez. So at the plate for the Angels is Carlos Perez. He's batting out of Rivera's spot. This is his first time up today. One ball and one strike is the count.
Seems like Marte was inserted into this spot here, Terry.
Yeah, it's Marte instead of Perez, and the pitch, and that one is a little bit low. Jeffrey Marte batting out of Rivera's spot.
There's Carlos on deck.
All right, so he'll hit out of Liriano's spot. There's a pitch that misses for a ball. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike here on Jeffrey Marte. Marte so far this spring is 3 for 6. He's swinging a nice bat.
Just some line drives pretty much everywhere.
Rockies.
There's a new first baseman in the ball game here for Colorado.
Is leading off. Williamson 2, Daza 3, Rogers 4. Gibson batting 5th.
Brian Mundell is the new first baseman.
Patterson 7, Hilliard 8, and Wendell 9.
Here's the pitch. Grounded sharply and through on the left side. So Marte mentioned he's been swinging a nice bat here in the early going. First full week of the Cactus League, and he gets a hit his first time up. Here's Carlos Perez.
Let's get for
The
Rockies, 1 through 9.
starting first baseman for the Rockies today, Jordan Patterson, has now moved out to right field. Sam Hilliard, who is playing right, is moved over to left field. Derek Gibson, up from their minor league camp, is now at third base. So that kind of rounds out what's happening at the moment here as far as Colorado defensively.
And offensively, their pitcher, Jamiola, is their leadoff hitter.
They lost their DH today when McMahon, who started the game as the DH, went into play third base. He has since left the game. There's a toss over to first base, and back to the bag goes Marte. We'll be filling in on what else is happening around exhibition baseball in Florida and here in Arizona in just a moment. Out of town scoreboard brought to you by the Ram 1500 as that pitch is low and in. It's Ram Truck Month, and you can hurry in for a great deal or visit ramtrucks.com to check out the powerful Ram lineup. And we do have a number of finals now in Florida in the Grapefruit League, including the Tigers beating the Phillies 11-6. Braves and Pirates played to a 3-3 tie as that one is inside again for a ball. Cards beat the Red Sox 6-1. Orioles over the Rays 2-1. Nationals and the Marlins played a 2-2 tie. They went 10. Yankees a 9-8 win against the Blue Jays. Next delivery, that's a fair ball down the left field side. It's going to roll all the way down into the left field corner. Let's see if the Angels are going to get a run here. Going into third base and then being held up will be the lead runner Marte at second with a double. As the Angels have it going here to start off this 7th inning is Perez, and 2 in scoring position, and Eric Young Jr. will be the next batter.
Carlos Perez wraps one around and inside that third baseline. Good reaction there with those hands. After being pitched inside, he stayed pretty much square to the plate into the middle of the field and just reacted to the inside pitch accordingly. Good year for Carlos at second base, standing now last year with a bat in AAA. And he is out of options, Terry. So
yep.
See what happens here at the end.
Eric Young Jr. can widen the lead here. We'll see if he can do it. They've brought the infield in a bit, and he takes the ball. Astros up on the Mets 7-2. That's in the 9th inning. A little bit later on tonight, it'll be the Twins taking on the Red Sox in the Grapefruit League. Around Arizona today, 6th inning. Indians up on the A's 6-3. Rangers lead the Dodgers 4-0 in the 6th. Royals up on the Mariners 12-6. That's in the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Chopped on the first base side, a fair ball, and no way the Angels can get anybody in on that one. Is fielding that ball is Mundell, the first baseman, and he goes to the bag, and the lead runner, Marte, has to hold it third on the unassisted play to the first baseman. So that's the first out. David Fletcher is the batter now. This is his first time up. Fletcher taking over for Fontana.
Yeah, keeping a close eye on Dino Ebel, Jeffrey Marte, now Fletcher at the plate.
And he takes that pitch in there for strike one. Fletcher so far this spring is still looking for his first. Well, let's double check on that. Fletcher this spring 4 for 8. So he's having some hits fall off his bat, and we've seen that before.
Looking for that first home run, Terry. He's always looking for that first something, right? Just put the ball and play hard on the ground. Low line drives since day one over against Oakland.
He's had 1 RBI so far this spring, a chance to get some more, and the pitch. He bounces that one by the mound. He's going to get 1 RBI on that one, maybe 2. The second runner is being waved home, and that is Perez from second. And sure enough, Fletcher, a single up the middle, drives in a pair. The Angels add on. It's now 5-1.
It's pretty much what he has been doing all spring, just short to that baseball, staying within himself, not worrying about driving the ball or getting too long on that swing. In other words, not trying to over-impress, just doing his job as to what can get him a ticket to the major leagues.
So Zach Gemiola is touched for a couple runs here in his first inning. And the Angels looking to get some more. Pitch is taken for a strike.
Yeah, very good speed now also at first base with Fletcher running.
Colin Walsh at the plate. This is his first time up. He's hitting out a Coward spot. Caleb Coward was 1 for 2 with a run batted in today. Toss over to first. Fletcher is back.
So tomorrow for the Angels, it is Andrew Heaney time against the Indians at Tempe Diablo Stadium, and they will have Ryan Merritt, lefty, on the mound. So Terry, looking forward to Andrew Heaney and bouncing back. Saw him pitch last year. But mainly just coming around and having a spring to just get ready to compete. And competing for a spot in the Angels rotation is Andrew Heaney.
First time out for him tomorrow. Walsh saying something to the home plate umpire Mark Carlson as everybody's about ready to get set. The count's no balls and 2 strikes. Angels up 5-1 here in the 7th inning, and the next pitch, and that is a called 3rd strike. Fastball there gets Walsh looking. Jahmai Jones will be the next batter before he digs in. Let's pause for stations to identify themselves on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. Along with Jose Mota, our producer engineer on the Angels Baseball Radio Network, is Jorge Sevilla. Next pitch, Jones fouls that one off on the right side, out of play. Let's run down the Cactus League scores at the moment. Royals up on the Mariners 12-6 in the 5th inning. 6-6 A's and Indians in the 6th. It's 4-0 Rangers over the Dodgers in the 6th inning. Diamondbacks have an 8-2 lead against the Giants in the 5th. Cubs leading the White Sox 4-3. That's in the 5th. Padres up on the other Mariners split squad 6-4 in the 6th inning. And also today as far as the Cactus League. Reds and Brewers are 3-3, and that is in the 6th inning. Jones with the count, no balls and 2 strikes. He's been in and left field all day long for the Angels. He's had a nice catch out in the outfield as well. 0 for 2 at the plate. Smacks that one by the mound, out behind second base, backhanded by Rogers. Throws, and did he get him? Just barely. He did at first. The inning is over. But a couple of runs for the Angels. Fletcher's 2-out RBI single, bringing in both runners. 5-1 Angels. We're headed to the 7th inning stretch here at Salt River Fields. And thanks for being with us today on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels with a couple of moves. New center fielder Kyle Cervantz. He replaces Eric Young Jr. And the other move is a new Angel reliever, Osmer Morales, will take over. He's been in one game this spring, and in that one game he allowed 3 runs in an inning and a third. So he's hoping to have a little better day today. Jordan Patterson will be the first batter up. Began today at first base, now playing right field for the Rockies. Their number 7 hitter. He's had a 1-for-2 ball game, and he swings at the first pitch and hits a one-hopper right at Walsh, the second baseman, and he throws him out. One quick out. Sam Hilliard will be the next batter. Angels and Indians tomorrow in Tempe. Thursday, the Angels will be in Scottsdale once again, but not at this ballpark. Instead, it'll be Scottsdale Stadium, where the Angels will play the Giants at their spring training home. J.C. Ramirez will get the start in that ball game for the Angels coming up on Thursday, and then the Angels are back at Tempe to take on the Chicago Cubs on Friday, Seattle on Saturday, and that'll be a night game. And then on Sunday, the Angels will play these Rockies once again at Tempe Diablo Stadium Sunday afternoon. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count on Sam Hilliard. Next pitch lifts this one in the gap in right center, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. He's going to make a turn, head for second base, and the throw there, it is late, and that is a hustle double there for Hilliard. That's the guy we've been telling you about for the Rockies. Big guy, 6'5", who can really run.
Big man can really move. This ball had just enough hang time to Hilliard in front of him to say, I know where everybody's playing. They have to come in and converge and find that baseball, and between that, the decisions made easily with that speed that he has, cutting across first base and sliding safely with that great speed into second base.
So Brian Mondel will be the batter.
It's one of those guys, Terry, that the Rockies perhaps could challenge and do like the Angels did to Cole Calhoun. He's 24 years old, played an A-ball last year, and as the Angels did to Cole Calhoun, moved him from A-ball to AAA just to say, go after it. You're well mature.
So the count's no balls and 1 strike on Mondel. And the next delivery, it's a breaking ball, and that one gets past Carlos Perez and moves all the way back to the backstop, and easily moving to third base will be Hilliard.
Wild pitch.
We scored a wild pitch.
That's one that I am quite sure Carlos Perez will like to have back, and that his manager and instructors are paying a close attention to as to how late he reacted to the breaking ball.
So the count 1-1. Mondo's batting for the first time, one of the better prospects in the Colorado system. And here's the next delivery. This one is fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. Mondel, Jose, you'll enjoy this. It was back in the 2016 season in the minors.
Okay.
This guy set a minor league record with 59 doubles in one season.
Tip my hat to him. Jeez.
Here's the pitch to him, and that one is inside. Last year he played in Double-A, and he hit 300, had 28 doubles. So the last 2 years, this guy in the minors has had 87 doubles.
He has been splitting some gaps.
Wow. Here's the pitch, and that one is low.
Well, let's see. Line drive ability, I think that passes a test. Driving the ball, but also there's also a factor of speed there involved somewhere. You know, even if it's not blazing speed, but the ability to get out of the box and cut across and make decisions coming out of the batter's box.
Just a smart base runner. Here's the pitch, and that one is fouled back. So the count's full on him, 3-2.
Wonder how many of those would have been singles for anybody else. Which really takes me to a conversation you and I had in the offseason about Pujols and the doubles being down last year. But you know how many long singles Albert Pujols hit last year? Probably close to 20.
Right. He just couldn't leg out a double.
Exactly.
Yeah. Here's the next pitch. That's lined into center field. It's right at Cervantes. He will make the catch on that one, tagging and scoring easily on that sac fly, as it turns out, will be Hilliard, and the Rockies get their second run in the ball game. Angels now at 5-2, and that's the second out here in the 7th. So the batter will be Vasquez, who's their catcher. And want to remind Angel fans, get your red on, experience Angels baseball with your group of 20 or more, and get tickets for as low as $8 per seat. Call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/groups for details. Vasquez taking the first pitch. It's a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes. There's one that's in there on the left-handed hitter.
Nice spinner there, and change of pace by Morales.
Here's the next delivery from Morales, and that one gets the batter to chase it. Went down to a knee swinging at that pitch. So a couple of strikes here on Vasquez. Osmer Morales on the hill for the Angels. Pitched at Double-A Mobile and Triple-A Salt Lake last year. Venezuelan native and a strikeout pitcher in the Angels system, although not a guy with real power stuff. 2-2 the count.
He could be a little tricky. He's got enough with the secondary pitches to set up that fastball to make it look even harder sometimes.
Here's There's one that's inside, and now it's a full count, 3-2.
From what I understand, talking to scouts and evaluators, is ability to throw strikes early in counts with something softer makes that fastball run better in the eyes of the hitter, and that perceived speed.
And there's a pitch that just missed inside.
It is a heavy fastball. As you can hear it popping all the way up here, even at 89 miles an hour.
So the walk on Vasquez. He's a 2-out base runner over there at first base. Garrett Hampson is stepping up to the plate. He's been up once with a bouncer back to the mound. Angels on top 5-2 here against the Rockies. Here's the pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. They're predicting some rain here in the valley later this afternoon and into the evening hours, but we should be okay as far as getting the rest of this game in, and hopefully not going to factor into tomorrow's action.
It's pretty wide open right now.
Yeah.
Getting cooler temperature-wise, but a very nice sky.
Here's the pitch. That breaking ball is low.
And every time we come here, Terry, the great view of the mountain ranges, the four peaks, way beyond the center field wall, and then right center field, Red Mountain.
Yep, picturesque setting here at Salt River Fields. Toss over to first. Hustling back to the bag goes Vasquez.
Thanks to Scott Snyder for all that valuable geographical information we receive here and get educated on the things around here. Always learn something from Scotty.
Me too.
Yeah.
Can a pickoff toss over to first, and that throws a little bit low, but handled by Thyssen. Diving back to the bag goes Vasquez.
And the way Theis received that throw over there really resembles a former catcher. He was ready to block.
Theis playing that position, the catching position, in his college days. And here's a little shallow pop into right field. Angels have some people chasing and taking charge, making a nice running over the shoulder grab is the second baseman, Colin Walsh, to end the inning. So a run here for the Rockies, and they leave a runner on. They had one hit in the inning. We are set to go to the eighth. Angels have a 5-2 lead against Colorado on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels set to go. Jabari Blash is going to pinch hit here as we get things going. And inning number 8, it's 5-2 Angels. And the first pitch, that one is taken and it misses ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Jones is hitting out of the Angels leadoff spot. And it would have been originally Valbuena's spot, but he has since left the ball game a few innings ago.
Flash getting a closer look from the Angels. Keep in mind, he was acquired after camp had already begun. After being designated by the Yankees.
Chris Carter's waiting on deck. They have a couple of new corner outfielders. Drew Weeks is in right field, and Miles Jones is in left field. And that one is low.
That's an M-I-L-E-S?
That is not how Miles Jones spells his first name, Jose.
Terry, take me to school here.
He spells his first name, and again it's Miles, M-Y-L-Z. Here's a fly ball lifted out there to him in left center field, and Miles with a Z at the end of his first name makes the grab on that one.
The mile-high fly ball from Blash.
Well, of course, the Rockies play in the Mile High City.
Keep going.
Oh,
Keep them coming.
That's more than enough. So 1 away as Blash is retired. Here's Carter. And here's the pitch. That's a little bit high on the big guy, Chris Carter.
Come on, Terry, one more.
Can't do it.
Here's the guy that can hit a ball.
I'm calling uncle on this. I can't do it anymore. And here's the next delivery. Yeah, that one is low.
Spring training days.
2-0 is the count. They do have a shift on the left side of the infield. So 3 infielders over there, and here's the next one. It's skied in the air down the right side, foul territory. The first baseman, Mundell, has a play, and he makes the catch. He was right over there by the photo well, kind of reached over the railing area there. So 2 are gone quickly. Matt Thaiss will get ready for his second at bat of the ball game. What did I hear today, Jose, after the game? You're going to try and visit with new Angels hitting coach, Eric Hinske?
Yes, and talk about some of these swings, including this youngster here.
And there's a high fly ball lifted deep into left center, and Miles Jones makes another catch out there on the warning track. Angels are retired quickly here in the 8th. We are moving to the bottom of the 8th. It's 5-2 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Bottom of the 8th we go. Osmer Morales, who pitched last inning, is back out there for another inning of work. And his first delivery, that one is in there on Jonathan Daza, who is a right-handed batter. Been up once with a hit so far today, and here's the next pitch. That's a little bit low and outside. Want to remind you, the bottom of the 8th inning being brought to you today by our friends at Rotolo Chevrolet in Fontana, the #1 Chevrolet dealer in California. Rotolo is pursuing excellence every day. Visit them at rotolo.com. Next one fouled off to our right, backing out of play, and the count is 1-2. Infielders are spread apart, backed up, and the 2-strike pitch. That's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jabari Blash is staying in the ball game. He came in and hit out of the leadoff spot. Actually, he was pinch hitting for Hermosillo, who had taken over in right field, and now he's replaced Hermosillo out there in right as well. Count's full. We'll see what happens on the 3-2 delivery. And here it comes. Lifted in the air down the right side. Chasing hard is Blash, but it's going to drop out of his reach in foul territory. So staying alive is Daza. 3 balls, 2 strikes. What we hear today, Jose, about Andrew Bailey, former Angels reliever.
Andrew Bailey is joining the Angels baseball operations staff, but also in the video coordinating and assistant during the games. He's always had a good relationship with Angels general manager Billy Epler, so Andrew Bailey officially will be joining the Angels in a capacity that will cover a lot of different aspects.
He announced his retirement as a player yesterday, and the Angels have signed him to be in the organization. There's a bouncer hit the third. Good stop there by Marte, and he throws out Daza over at first base. So 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th.
That would have been a very tough play. Marte made it look fairly easy there with smooth, giving hands. Silky hands by Jeffrey. To always welcome people like Andrew Bailey, who's gone through a lot, especially the last few years with injuries, but who found early success in his big league career as a closer for the Oakland A's and a former Rookie of the Year.
Saw some news today concerning a former Angel who was a free agent and just signed a deal with a big league club. Here's a fly ball lifted into right field, and that's right at Blash, and making the catch is the Angels right fielder. Rogers retired as he chased that pitch. Brendan Rodgers, the second out in the inning. Mike Napoli has reached an agreement with the Cleveland Indians, and the Angels will play them tomorrow. I don't think we'll see Napoli in action in that game, but we'll see him possibly during the regular season, maybe a little later in spring training. It was a minor league deal.
And he goes back to the Indians.
Yeah.
After hitting 29 home runs for the Rangers last year.
And back with Terry Francona. Pitch on its way. That one is a pitch inside. Derek Gibson at the plate. This is his first at bat today. He's come into the ball game at third base, and he chops that one foul. Couple strikes on him.
Hey, we're talking about Carlos Gonzalez, whom Nolan Arenado very vocal about perhaps how much they miss him around here. It's a matter of understanding what the value is. Not really sure, not clear on anything on offers that he's had and he's turned down. But now without Parra, of course, there's more of an urgent need to get somebody like that who is a supreme talent.
Yeah, you got to think Buddy Black, his manager, was somewhat pleased with seeing what a guy like Gonzalez meant to the team last year. But yeah, it's all price related right now. There's a pitch that's going to miss on Gibson, so he will try at the first base with a 2-out walk.
And Gerardo Parra is out because they had to remove the broken hook of the hamate bone in his right hand. Announced by the Rockies in mid-February.
So it looks like we're going to have a little brief meeting out at the mound for the Angels.
Angels on the move, brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, the official freight partner of the Angels and Major League Baseball.
So at the plate, getting ready for his first at bat today is Nunez. This is Dom Nunez. He's a catcher in their system. Pinch hitting here and a toss over to first base. Back to the bag goes Gibson. Morales with the next pitch. That's in there on the left-handed hitter. The balls in 1 strike to count. Bright sunshine at the moment here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Here's the next pitch. It's chopped on the left side, off the glove of the shortstop Fletcher. The ball caroms into left center, and there will be runners at the corners. That should be a hit. That was going to be a tough play even if he fielded the ball cleanly, so it will be a single. And they have them at first and third.
A good job by the runner Gibson to first base. Well, he was flying low around the bag and making it easily into third base after he saw the ball carry him up from Fletcher's glove.
So at the plate now is Drew Weeks. This is going to be his first at bat of the ball game.
This is the everybody gets an AB day right here.
It sure is.
Good for Buddy Black. Give the youngsters a chance.
And here's the pitch. That's lifted in the air to Blash in right field, and he is under. He'll make the catch on that one, and that will end the inning. They had brought in Anthony Phillips to run over there at first base, and the inning ends on that flyout. A couple putouts for Jabari Blash out there in right field. So Morales pitches out at some trouble in the inning. They leave him at the corners, and we are moving to the 9th. 5-2 Angels here from Scottsdale on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. There's a new pitcher for the Rockies, number 6 of the day. His name is Jerry Vasto, and he is a lefty. The first batter the Angels will send up against him is Jeffrey Marte, who's singled and scored a run since he came into the ball game. His only time up. Infield is playing it back, and the outfield, they're kind of bunched together a little bit. Both the corner outfielders playing way off the lines, and the first pitch, that's low and inside. It misses for ball 1. Vasto was in AAA last year, 3-3 record, 6.88 ERA in 41 games. He delivers. That's outside. 2-0 is the count. Angels have led this game since the 2nd inning. And up by 3 here in the 9th. Starting to get some shadows coming in from behind home plate, just around the fringe of the batter's circle now. The pitch that's fouled off on the right side, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Jamiola, who Vasto replaces, he gave up a couple of runs in his 2 innings. Here's the next delivery, and that is way high. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and that is low and inside. So that's a leadoff walk. Angels haven't had a whole lot of walks here today, just the 2nd one issued by Colorado pitching, but Marte is on. Carlos Perez will be the next batter. Well, today we saw Albert Pujols in the lineup for the first time, and we'll wait to see when we start seeing some more of the other regulars in the Angels lineup. I would think there's a pretty good chance we'll see a few of them tomorrow.
Love to see that. It's time.
Yep, haven't seen Trout play or Young or Cozart.
Simba, by the way, they have a Simba cam here in this ballpark. How do you like that?
Yeah, that was kind of a neat little idea.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Upton, Kinsler, Calhoun. I mentioned Andrelton Simmons, so all those guys certainly figure to be filtered in here in the next day or 2. Here's the pitch. That's hit well out into center field. Daza has a beat on it, though, and he's a few feet from the rim of the track out there, and he'll make the catch. That's the first out. Just had a double his first time up and hit that one pretty hard, but he's retired.
Once again, Sweden 97.
So the Angels now will send Michael Barish to the plate. And this would have been Cervant's batting in this spot. So the Angels have to do something as far as center field. And we get to the bottom of the 9th inning. Barish is a catcher, and the first pitch to him is a ball. The count's 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. That's line foul down the right side. Well, today Angel pitchers have held the Rockies to 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position, so that's been quite good. And despite not breaking any bats yet, Angels pitchers have pitched well. And I want to remind you, broken bats are brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Look for Wonderful Pistachios at Angel Stadium and your local grocery store or pharmacy. Now, let's get cracking. Nicely done, Jose.
If you could hear it, yes. Thank you, Terry.
2 balls and 1 strike is the count here on Barish. It's 5-2 Angels in the 9th. And here's the next pitch. Taken for a strike. That was a fastball.
I'd have to bring a broken bat and just slam it on the counter every time you call that.
Well, these
It still sounds funny.
It's tough enough to keep track of everything during these spring training ball games. And if we can hear a crack bat, we'll certainly let you know. Here's one that's lifted into center field. That is right at Daza. And he will put that one away for the second out. So routine fly out. David Fletcher will be the next batter.
No, you know
Fletcher's
what?
had a 2-run hit.
Just a little more work for Jorge Sevilla. Go out there and do a little research.
Yeah, we'll have to keep track of a few other things this season. The mound visits, we talked about that.
That's on Jorge too?
Well,
Wow.
somebody's going to have to take care of that.
Don't blame you.
That'll be on the assignment list. See who the official mound visit counter person is each game.
Mark Langston, are you listening?
2 outs. And here's the pitch. Fletcher takes right in there for a called strike. We'll see what the Angels do pitching-wise when we get to the bottom of the ninth. You would think Morales, who's worked 2 innings today, is done for the day. The Angels have used 6 pitchers in this ball game. Here's the next delivery. That one is fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. We could possibly see Jake Jewell in this ball game.
I believe Jake Jewell is getting ready.
All right. Angels have a few other pitchers from minor league camp who have made the trip today as well. And here's the next delivery. That's hit sharply on the third base side, and it skips over the glove of the third baseman Gibson. Rolls all the way down into the corner. Going into third, being waved home is Marte, and he will cross the plate and come in to score. Now, I don't know if they said that ball might have been caught down in that left field corner. I believe that's what they're going to say now.
Officially,
Yep.
the ground rules dictate Marte must get back to third base.
So he came in and scored, but they're going to move him back to third base.
In the meantime, another great swing by David Fletcher, who continues to torch the baseball here in the early going.
Ball got wedged in down there by one of the gate areas down by the left field foul pole. So it'll go down as a ground rule double. Runners at second and third, still 5-2 Angels. And Colin Walsh at the plate. First pitch on him was a strike. Here's the next one. And that's right in there for a called strike. Jam Jones, who has played the entire ball game, would be up next. He is the left fielder and 9-hole hitter today. He's yet to get a hit. Here's the next pitch, and that one is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. One and 2. Infielders are all backed up, spread apart, and the next pitch, it's fouled straight back to the screen. We got started today, 67 degrees with bright sunshine here in the Scottsdale area at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick.
Okay, Mark Langston said he is tuning in. Langer checking in, Langs.
Here's a little pop-up in foul ground over on the first base side and just out of the reach of Mondel, the first baseman. Ball was catchable there in foul ground. He just didn't quite get to it. Marte down there at third, and Fletcher is the base runner over there at second base. And the next delivery there, that one missing, 2-2. Blocked by the catcher. Two balls and 2 strikes. Over 20 pitches in this inning here for Vasto. The lefty's next one. It's fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. The pitchers of record today, the two starters. Matt Shoemaker, solid job today. Did give up a home run. That was one of the 3 hits in 2 1/3 innings, but pitched into the 3rd inning in his first outing this spring. Here's the next delivery. It's fouled back behind the plate.
Matt Shoemaker so efficient in that first inning. 7 pitches, 5 strikes. Then eventually, because of only 19 pitches through 2, convinced Mike Scioscia to let him go out there and finish off his work on the mound and not in the bullpen.
Shoemaker didn't walk and he retired the first 5 he faced today. And the next delivery, that's another one fouled off by Walsh. So he continues the battle here with 2 strikes. He's fouled off several pitches here.
Terry, flying under the radar quietly is Noe Ramirez, who continues to impress just as he did pretty much last season when he came up with the Angels, being thrown into very tough spots.
There's the next delivery, and that is ball 3, so it's a full count. Yeah, Ramirez had a scoreless inning today.
Leadoff man got on with a bunt, came back and rebounded nicely with a strikeout double play.
Noe Ramirez, a couple of scoreless appearances so far this spring. Here's the payoff delivery, and this is a one-hopper right at the shortstop, though, and a good stop on it by Hampson. He'll throw out Walsh, and the inning is over. So the Angels leave them at 2nd and 3rd, and we're headed to the bottom of the 9th. It's 5-2 Angels here against Colorado on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels make a few changes here as we get set to go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Zach Gibbons is the new Angels left fielder. Jahmai Jones goes from left to center. And the new pitcher is Jake Jewell. So Osmer Morales ended up going 2 innings today for the Angels. He allowed 2 hits and a run. It was earned. And along the way, he walked 2 batters and also threw a wild pitch. Did not strike out anyone. So Jewell is the new pitcher, and his first delivery was a ball. This one is fouled off on the right side. This is Miles Jones at the plate. First time up for him in this ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. Jose is headed downstairs. He'll have our post-game interview after the ball game. That one is fouled back on the right side, backing out of play. Sun has disappeared, at least momentarily. A little cloud cover. As Jewell works for the Angels, this is his second appearance this spring. He's had one scoreless inning of relief, and there's one that is in there for a called third strike. That was a good pitch right at the knees. He got that low strike called by Mark Carlson. One away. So Lundell will be the next batter. Since coming in, he's had a sac fly. Jewell last year, Inland Empire and Mobile, A and Double A in the Angels system. 7-9 record, 4.54 ERA overall. He's had some issues in the past with his pitching mechanics. He's got a good arm, fastball, or a good sinking fastball, about 95 miles per hour. He's on the Angels 40-man roster. And the pitch, and that's in there for a called strike. He's pumping in some strikes right now. 0-2 is the count. Jewell is set, and the next delivery, and he had the batter waving. The ball's dropped by Perez. He'll fire to first to complete the strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts. One more out to go here in this one. Jan Vasquez will be the next batter. He came in to catch for them. And at the plate, he's had a walk his only time up. Swings from the left side. Jewell ready to come in on Vasquez, who hits the ball back to the mound, pops off the glove of Jewell, recovers, throws to first base, and that is how this ball game ends. On the comebacker, and a strong bottom of the ninth for Zach Jewell, who will end up getting a save in this ball game. So the Angels come away with a victory here in Game 5 of the Cactus League, beating the Colorado Rockies today by the final score of 5-2. Jose Mota and Angels hitting coach, new Angels hitting coach Eric Hinsky will get together in just a moment, and we'll get some of the new Angels hitting coach's thoughts on how camp is going as he gets familiarized with all these new players. Eric Hinsky had been in the Cubs organization as their assistant hitting coach at the major league level last few seasons, and now the Angels #1 hitting coach here in 2018. Good ball game today. Angels doing enough with the bats. Pitching was good as well. And the Halos coming away with the victory in a ball game that took just 2 hours and 39 minutes here today in Scottsdale. We're going to take it down by the Angels third base coaching box, and let's join Jose Mota and Angels hitting coach Eric Hinsky.
Thanks, Terry. Well, welcome to being a hitting coach. You got to be happy about the contact you saw early from the guys. What has been the approach in you preaching into spring training?
Just having good at-bats. We're trying to hit the ball hard no matter the count, and getting guys on base early, doing pretty good situationally, and just having fun, feeling our way through it.
Are there some things that you're implementing that perhaps work for you as a player that you know could work with this group?
Yeah, I like to be patient, have a team approach. We try to get into that bullpen as quick as possible. I think we're waiting for the guys to get in there. I think the lineup's going to be pretty stacked tomorrow, so we're all excited waiting for that. And I think Shohei's been doing great. He's putting good swings on the ball, and he commands the box.
How about the communication with Shohei? How has that been, and what are you trying to imply into him, knowing that, of course, he's had success on the other side of the ocean?
He's a great kid. He works the right way. He's really easy to work with, and obviously his interpreter helps me out a lot. So I'm just trying to keep him comfortable, get a routine with him in the cage and the pitches that he sees on a regular basis, and try to subside his workload a little bit because he's pitching as well. So it's awesome to be a part of it. I'm very honored.
What have you learned from the Trouts and the Pools and the Simmons and all the input they have for you, along with Cole Calhoun?
Yeah, it's great to see just the guys that are successful at the big league level, their routines, what makes them successful. Obviously, we had a lot of good players over in Chicago, and I can bring some of that information over here. And my experience as a player as well, I played for 12 years and stood in that box, stood in that fire, so I think that helps me out a lot.
Glad to have you, and welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, excited to be here.
Terry, mi amigo, all for you.
All right, thank you very much, Jose. Nice hearing from new Angels hitting coach Eric Hinsky. So the Angels come away with the victory today, beating the Rockies by the final of 5-2. I want to thank you for joining us here from For those of you watching on Fox Sports West, Jose Mota and Ken French will have a lot more post-game analysis coming up in just a moment on Angels Live. On the radio side, we'll have more post-game coverage for you on our flagship station, Angels Radio AM 830. In the final, Angels over Colorado today, 5-2. Thanks for joining us on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.